That's the best that Vine had to offer, guys. And
That
now
was
it's
it.
dead. Now it's
It
dead.
peaked.
Yeah.
I guess you want to talk about Vine
I think we should.
from everything you put in the Twitter.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it's sad, but for me, it's sad but unsurprising.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it lasted as long as it did.
Mm, yeah, I've not actually. I hadn't looked at it in like probably about a year. I still had it on my phone because I never had the. I could never bring myself to actually delete it from my phone.
But that article you posted about the secret meeting was so fucking pathetic.
What the
There's people
article or
like,
the content of the
yeah,
article?
the content. It was
Yeah.
the people, the Vine stars who were like, we promise if you give us £25 million, we'll give you 3 vines a week. And it's like, woohoo! 18 seconds of content. You're so kind.
Yeah, but I know I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Well, wait, should we say it for the podcast? Do you want to just start?
Yeah. Before we start, I just need you to click the link. Come on, man, do it.
The YouTube one. The Wills. Oh, okay. Go on then. Just quick.
There we go.
Strange Black Mirror advert. And we're off. You love the lemons, don't you?
The one at the beginning of it's good. It's when it like gets really over the top with like water sprays out as well behind it. Where he goes like lemons. The almond milk one is the best. That is the best. Oh my god.
Why is there always water in his top? In his mouth?
I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh.
Do you remember he used to do the ones with what was that character that took over his Vine? Do you remember?
Oh, there was 2. There was oh shit. There was one called Tori, who I liked, but there was a guy before.
Tori. Corey, it was Corey.
There's Corey and Tori. There's 2 of them. The Tori one wasn't as popular, but I loved the Tori one.
Was Corey first?
Yeah, Corey was first, and Tori was a piss take of all the teenagers who are popular through Vine. Last one, just watch this. It's only 7 seconds. Give it a watch. This is probably my favorite Vine of all time, and I do not say that lightly.
Are you putting a link in?
Yeah, it's at the top. Second one down.
So this is your favorite Vine of all time?
Yeah, it's a piss take of all the teenage Viners who
Okay.
think they're so cool.
All right, okay. Just be quiet for 6 seconds.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Man, besides the food, you fucking asshole. So good. So good. Oh, Vine. Is there anything you can't do? Anyway.
Yeah. Are we on? Do you want to do it?
We haven't started yet, but as soon as you see the
Okay, 158. Okay, I'll hit this. Oh, we're on. Hello and welcome to episode 158 of Heroes of Handheld. This week presented in 6-second chunks. My name's Chris, and I'm joined by Colin Byrne, and we're going to bring you all the latest 3DS, Vita, and mobile gaming news as well, plus some general life chatter. Colin, matey, how are you?
Can you imagine if our podcasts were 6 seconds long? Could you imagine that? Like we get all this.
People would quite like it.
Probably. Like if we had all this content that we prepare and we had to put it in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we could do that?
No, I think the service would be shut down.
No, yeah, probably. You're probably right. Hi, Chris. Hi.
Hey.
How are you? How are you on this cold November evening?
I'm okay, thank you. I've just been making use of the Pokemon Go Halloween update. So I've
Yeah.
been playing it non-stop and my legs are so sore from walking them steps.
I like this idea of Pokemon Go introducing these special events for certain times. Um,
Yeah.
it's a surprise they haven't done anything like this beforehand, but I guess there hasn't really been any proper big holidays or, days of the calendar that are important to everyone. But I
Yeah,
am
true.
hopeful that there'll be a Christmas one as well. But yeah, I've got a great idea. If they were to do a Christmas update for Pokemon Go, they should convert all the gyms into Christmas trees.
Oh, great idea. I think they're going to do them quite often. Like, I think Thanksgiving is end of November, isn't it?
Would that just be for the American audience, though? Would they bring it out in Europe? That's the question. What
Oh,
would
I
you
hope
think?
so.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
it would.
you'd imagine that, like, I mean, we're going to talk about this later on, but they've made so much money over the last 4 or 5 days.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes very much a
Well,
regular occurrence.
they do need things like this to keep it fresh, Obviously,
Yeah.
me and you are still loyal. Those bitches ain't loyal. But a lot of people have now strayed away from Pokemon Go, which is sad. So these sort of events are the perfect catalyst for getting people back in, I feel. But I've really
Well,
been
and
enjoying
also,
it. Yeah.
yeah, because also I don't really blame people for leaving because, like, it's never really been quite as good as when it first came out.
Hmm.
Do you know? Like,
Yeah.
that was just mad. It was so fun. And since then, it's kind of been like they've sort of been stripping things away a bit. So I think this type of event's really good. It obviously gets people playing again. It reminds people that the game is very much a thing, and that catching all 142 or whatever the number is in your region is achievable. I'm going to show you something on the webcam now. Let me
Okay.
just whiz my quality up a little so you can see.
Oh,
Hopefully
God.
you can make this out. So this is my my list of how many candies I've got left for each Pokemon.
Nice and clear.
Can you make it? Well, if you talk, you won't be able to, I suppose. But yeah, this is now I'm like quite seriously playing again. Like, I mean, using it a lot more. I've been actually caring about hitting stops. I had I had a couple of days off last week, and on Friday I went to Green Park, which is in London. If you don't know, it's very near Buckingham Palace, and I went there on the busiest day of half term, but just so I could farm Charmanders because I knew that there was never going to be another like a day with the Halloween bonus. I thought it was going to end then, and I was like, I need to do it now. And I caught so many, and now I've got my Charizard. So it's like it's
You've
really
got
got people
Charizard.
out there. Yes, mate.
Surely that is the dream to get Charizard. What do you do now? What do
Well,
you want from
okay.
him?
Here's the actual truth. I've got a Charmander and enough candy for Charizard, but I'm going to evolve it once I've got a lucky egg on.
Oh, you're one of those people, are you? You have to
Well,
wait
yeah,
for a
you got to
lucky
play for
egg.
levels, haven't you? You got to play for Levs. Levs. Levs,
Um,
Levin. So yeah, it's been really interesting seeing people play. And actually, for the first time in ages, when I was walking home today, I stopped off at the Pokemon gym on the way home from the tube stop, and I saw someone playing. We had a little chat about it, and it was just nice, kind of remembering that there are other people in this community, and it's not just not just a few of us. It is actually still a popular game.
that's good. Yes, glad. That's one of the overriding things about Pokemon Go, the sense of community with other people who play it, which is one of the biggest elements, in my opinion. Like, it's so cool seeing other people playing it. I don't see as many people playing it now as I did back when it first came out.
Yeah.
But you still know when people are playing Pokemon Go. You just know when you see
And
them talking about.
on Friday when I was at this park, there was so many. I was really happy actually. It really made my day because there was so many like parents with their kids where the parent had like was sort of in the middle. And I don't know if they had a map up or what, but the kids were then there and they would kind of walk to the next Charmander and all catch it together, and it was very sweet. And yeah, I think we forget because me and you, especially Colin, are kind of in our early 20s, so we don't have many friends with kids that are kind of like 10 or 11. Sort of anyone we know who's got kids, they're quite young. But actually, this game is really popular with children as well as with adults, and an event like this makes you realize just how popular it is.
It is good, like the sort of game where the parents can play with their kids. It's just warms your heart. But one thing that has really annoyed me about the Halloween event, we haven't actually explained. For those of you who don't know, the Halloween event is basically something that was. I think it's still live at the moment. It was supposed to end yesterday, but I think it's still live on my app.
Yeah, still going.
So the Pokemon Go event for Halloween, basically they have made it more the game more populated with ghost type Pokemon or creepy Pokemon. For example, the one that has a skull on its head, Cubone and Marowak. There's loads of those around. There's loads of Meowths everywhere. And they've also made it so when you catch a Pokemon, you get double the candy. And when you transfer them to the professor, you get double as well. So you get 2 candies for transferring and 6 for when you catch one as well, which is really cool and really helpful if you're really, trying to get a certain type of Pokemon but struggling to find enough of that Pokemon to do it. But what annoyed me about it is that for the past few weeks, I've been working on trying to get my Gengar because I've got my Ghastly. I'm walking with my Ghastly. It's all fine. But then they release this update and there's bloody Gengars everywhere now. So it sort of makes me feel like I've been working so hard for nothing. And I caught a Gengar a few days ago. And do you know what CP it was, Chris?
60-12. I don't know.
26.
Oh, well, that's good.
What the is that? A 26 CP? That's almost as bad as my CP12 Mr. Mime I caught in London. Seriously,
yeah, but don't. I don't know why you're annoyed because you wanted a Gengar, and you catching one doesn't mean that you can't still evolve the original Ghastly you were going to do.
No, I did evolve my Haunter to a Gengar, but then it was only 800 CP, so it made my weeks and weeks of walking with Ghastly completely a waste of time. So there you go.
Yeah,
but I managed to get a Marowak. I'm happy about that. Love my Marowak. Anyway, so yeah, I'm still enjoying it, and hopefully we'll get another event for Christmas time because now Halloween is over. Everybody knows Christmas is the only thing we should be talking about.
I wonder if they haven't tweeted about Halloween not being on anymore.
Yeah.
But what they have tweeted is that it looks like there are daily bonuses coming.
Ooh, that's good.
Trainers, we're noticing about candy bonus Halloween. Yeah, so they haven't really said that it's going to end, but they have really briefly said that they're going to start doing sort of stacking bonuses.
Yeah.
So, if you visit if you catch Pokemon every day, you'll get a little XP bonus and a Stardust bonus as well. And if you do that 7 days in a row, then you'll get a big XP bonus and a big Stardust bonus. And the same with visiting Pokestops as well. And apparently it's going to reset on a Tuesday. So we'll put a link as well. I just thought, I kind of assumed that when I went on their Twitter, they'd be saying, Halloween's over, stop it. But actually, I guess not. I guess, I think maybe they know, like, it's making them a ton of money. Why stop it early?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Because I thought it was a bit strange that they're only going to have it on. I think it was about 5 days initially, wasn't it? It wasn't very long.
Yeah,
under a week. So I'll be happy if they are extending it because it's very, very fun. And those daily challenges, that sounds like a good idea as well. But you'd think with all this money, they would have fixed the crappy GPS. But there you go.
Oh, don't. I know.
One day we can dream. Anyway, so yes, we're enjoying Pokemon Go. But another thing I want to talk about now, probably the big tech news of the week, has to be the closure of one of my. Now, back when this app first opened, I loved it. I was really into it, as Chris knows. I think, Chris, you liked it as well, but I don't think you were as into it as I was.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but I got so this is Vine, which was Twitter's 6-second video sharing app. And it quickly became popular with people doing like stop motion and doing kind of comedy bits because you didn't have to record everything at once. You could record, take your finger off, do something else. And it kind of quickly became popular with sort of these Vine stars who used to do things like, when your boyfriend doesn't text you back fast enough, that kind of bollocks. I mean, you loved Vine. I remember you being absolutely obsessed with Vining. You wanted to be a Vine star. You were the type of person that like had your Vine link on your sort of online CV.
I did. I loved. I thought back when it first came out, it seemed like such a unique thing to me, and I really loved the idea of it being 6 seconds. And as you say, like it didn't have to be like just a video that you record. You tapped it, didn't you, to record certain sections,
Yeah,
and you be
there was a
creative
kind
with
of
it.
an element of art about it, wasn't it? And it wasn't like just sharing a video on Facebook. You could kind of be your own editor, I suppose.
Well, initially when Vine started, it was very creative, and as you said, there was stop motion, there was different pieces of art. The whole comedy element of it, which is pretty much all Vine has been for the past year and a half. That's all it's been. Is these Vine stars? I'm doing that with air quotes here. Vine stars doing their, as you said, those videos where it's like when Bay is out and you text a girl.
Oh, Colin,
Funny.
breaking news.
Yeah.
I've just turned on Pokemon Go and it looks like Halloween is no more.
Oh, balls.
Yeah, I
Balls.
know.
Anyway, so with Vine, it's closing. Twitter announced this last week, and they're axing. Let's see how many jobs they're axing. I think it was about 100, if I remember rightly. Actually, they didn't give a number of how many people were losing their jobs, but they're cutting 9% of their workforce. That's following slow growth of the social network. And I know that Twitter's actually made a loss this last financial year, quite a big loss, if I remember rightly. I mean, I'm not surprised that Twitter have decided. Well, it's difficult. I'm not surprised that Twitter want to disassociate themselves with Vine, but I am surprised that they're closing it altogether. I think that's a really odd thing. Like, why don't they just sell it off to another company or something? Because I know it's small now. I mean, the numbers that Vine get just aren't huge anymore, but there are still a big loyal fan base who still go to Vine constantly for their intake of social media action. So it really does surprise me that they're deciding to close it altogether. I mean, just to be a bit more specific about this, they're actually closing the mobile app. So you'll still be able to access Vine from your PC. So if you've got all those amazing Vines in your account and you don't want to lose them, don't worry, they're not going anywhere, but you just won't be able to get them on your mobile. So people will be Vining from their PC, which is what everyone wants to do, I feel. I mean, that's what Vine was made for.
I
Desktop video.
kind of feel like, though, a lot of the comedy meme sort of stuff has gone to Instagram a bit. Like, Instagram was never like that when it first started. It was all kind of like arty photos and filters and all that stuff, but now it is full of kind of those sort of like meme dank meme 420 or that kind of nonsense. Which I think the Vine stars have found a home on Instagram, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, they're all going to be fine. They've got followings on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything now. So I don't think any of these Vine stars are going to be. Obviously, I'm sure they're going to be a bit sad, but it's not going to crush their careers. But yeah, you're right. And I think that's the problem with Vine, isn't it? In a sense, like it was unique when it first came out, but now all these other apps have sort of taken the whole idea of short videos, because you think on Snapchat, you have obviously the stories, which are very popular with people. And also Instagram have introduced it as well, haven't they? They've got their own story section. So really, there's now nothing unique about Vine, really. And obviously, Facebook has a lot of video elements incorporated into it as well. And I mean, we probably forgetting that Twitter also own another video platform. They own Periscope, don't they? That's the live streaming app. So yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, they launched it back in 2012. That's when Twitter acquired it. I can't believe it's been that long. So, it's 4 years ago. It seems so long ago when it first came out, though. It feels like Vine's been around for ages. But yeah, it is a sad day, I guess. I mean, I've got some fond memories. I was probably like a Z-list Viner back in the day. Your flying superhero one, which was my most popular.
Oh yeah, that was popular, wasn't it?
I need to try and find that.
Man.
If I can find that, we're going to put that on the Heroes of Handheld Twitter tonight. I'm going to try and find that one. That was my favorite Vine. That was a good one. Also, the one of us singing Mary Poppins in a radio studio. That was also quite one, which was quite.
Yeah, you sent me that the other day, didn't you?
So sad, so sad. So goodbye, Vine. Thank you for all the lols, and go away, all you Vine stars. But I mean, before we move on, there was actually this news story I wanted to quickly touch upon about a secret meeting that took place between the Vine famous community and the people, the CEOs of Vine and Twitter. Really interesting read this. Apparently, all these really popular Viners, this is a couple of months ago, I believe, or earlier this year, they could see that Vine was dying a slow death and they just weren't getting the views that they used to get. So they went to Vine and said, if you pay us like $25 million, no, $1.2 million each, we'll ensure that we get all our followers onto Vine and we'll create, was it free videos a week or something? Was it? I think you read the article, Chris. Was it 18 seconds of content a
Yeah,
week?
it was something kind of stupidly like, and not low effort. I appreciate it takes a lot, but it wasn't like all 18 of them $1.2 million each to make 12 monthly original Vines, so
Wow.
3 a week.
Wow. So yeah, and as you said, that's what about that's seconds of content, and they are wanting millions of dollars. I mean, to play devil's advocate a bit, this could have potentially worked in Vine's favor in a way because it would have most likely generated billions of views and got a lot of people back onto the app. But Vine pretty much just said no, and they decided not to do it. And all the Vine stars decided to put most of their effort into their other social media platforms. So interesting to think whether this would have saved Vine if they did go ahead and pay the Viners $1.2 million to create this content. I guess we'll never know. But it's interesting, though. I mean, there's a very interesting argument about this as to whether these people, who do they think they are, wanting $1.2 million dollars for it. But then when you think, like, if they can get, if those Viners can generate billions of views for Vine, that's a big deal, for social media.
Yeah, but I find it really kind of offensive of them actually, because if Vine wasn't a thing, no one would know who they were.
Yeah,
and I think it's a bit like kind of Judasy, kind of being like, oh, actually, you made us who we are, and now we're going to blackmail you, pay us money to make stuff for your platform. Like, obviously, they don't have to make stuff for that platform if they built up a following elsewhere, but it's just a bit scummy because no one would know who they were.
I guess so.
Like, it would be different if someone like a PewDiePie or I don't know, someone else, H3H3 from YouTube or whatever, was coming across to Vine. That would be different. But these, unless I've misunderstood the article, are Vine people, aren't they?
Yeah, that's where they got their fame, was through Vine. Yeah,
I think it's like, they don't, I'm not saying they should make stuff on there if they don't want to, but it's like it just irks me. It kind of brings my hair up the wrong way,
Yeah, we don't want your hair going up the wrong way because it's lovely that.
No, exactly. So
yeah, I see what you mean. It's like biting the hand that feeds you, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's like, yeah. Why not work to make it better instead of being like, you're losing money, give us millions of dollars and we might help out.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, Vine's going to be ending. I don't think they've set a date as to when it's going to be officially closing. Let me just have a look and see if I can find when that is. I don't know. They haven't given the date here. But I mean, as I said, you can still access your Vines. And I'm going to try and find that Vine of Chris flying because that was fun. I mean, I'm just going to end this by saying I am sad because Vine was a really big deal for me, as you know, as we said to start with. It was such an interesting, creative new app, and I loved finding like all the most creative and funny ones, like every night, just scrolling through and seeing them all. But yeah, it went down. I mean, what I think, in a way, it reminds me of Sony and the PlayStation Vita, how I just feel like Twitter haven't properly supported it, haven't implemented any really big new ideas to it. Obviously, they've updated the app, they've added a few new editing features, but they've not really changed anything up over the past few years, which is probably why people just forgot about it and it just died a death.
Yeah.
But I still go back to the point where I said I'm surprised that they're closing it and not just selling it to another company. That really does surprise me, because I'm sure there would be companies out there willing to buy it.
Yeah, or why it's not being integrated into Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Twitter
sorry, go on.
Had a sort of, well, maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe they're going to be bringing TwitVid or something. But
Yeah,
it's, the idea that, because, go on.
I was just going to say, I think you've sort of hit the nail on the head. I think the reason why they are closing it is because they are going to implement something into Twitter in a near update. They're probably going to put, so I know they've made it a lot easier to put video onto Twitter lately, but they're probably going to transfer the features from Vine into the Twitter app and just incorporate it into the same API. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, it's ending and we're very sad. It's always sad. It's always sad when people lose their jobs. I mean, people are losing their jobs over this. So that is sad. But the writing was on the wall, not surprised. And Vine stars, I hate that term, Vine stars.
Yeah.
I hate that term. It just annoys me. Anyway, let's move on before I punch something in the face. So I just wanted to quickly mention something else, a couple of other things before we get into the main news. And that is, firstly, I mentioned this last week, but I want to give it another mention just to give it a bit more exposure, as it were. So I mentioned a game called Rogue Raiders Online, which is a upcoming, hopefully, action RPG exclusive to PlayStation Vita. It's a 4-player co-op game. You can also play it solo as well. But the reason I wanted to give this some more exposure is because the person creating this, Christina Martin, she loves the PlayStation Vita. She did a AMA on the PlayStation Vita Reddit subreddit. And it's really interesting to see what she was saying, how she loves the PlayStation Vita. The reason she's doing it is for the love of the platform, and she wants to show how you can still make good games for that platform. Which is really nice to see that she's obviously a fan of the platform. I mean, the early footage that we have is really interesting as well. It's a space exploration game, and obviously with co-op as well. And the fact it's exclusive to Vita is really cool. So this game is really something it's tickling my fancy. But she does need €33,000 to get this to happen. At the moment, she's only on 6,000, but has got another 20 days to go, so still plenty of time. So they're on 6,000 and they've got 223 backers so far. So if you are a PlayStation Vita lover, then you should be supporting this. Just donate what you can, just to help bring this project to life. Because I can't help but feel if this does come to life, if it does fund, it may or may not, but there might be executives at Sony who might raise their eyebrows and goes, there's some interest in this. We should help this game come to life. I mean, they did it with the Banner Saga, didn't they? Where Sony stepped in to help it come to Vita. So they might help bring this one as well. And they might help bring other aspiring projects to Vita as well. So you can click the link for this to find the Kickstarter in the article for this week's podcast. Just go to heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. We'll tweet it as well. But you just need to Google Rogue Raiders Online Kickstarter and you'll find it. So support it.
I'm going to say 3 things about this Kickstarter.
All right.
Number one is how interesting this game looks, in that it isn't co-op in the sense of you're all buddies and friends. It's co-op kind of because in the story you have to cooperate, which I think is a really interesting dynamic. I mean, you don't see that in a lot of co-op games. So I'm actually quite wowed by the art and stuff of this. I think it looks really fun. It's going to be really interesting to see if it how well it holds up if it gets funded. Number 2, it's amazing if you scroll down, you can look at how the Kickstarter money is going to be used. It is amazing is it €33,000 they need?
Yeah.
How little of that actually goes on game development, because, that's not an insult to the game, but only 40% goes on development, 20% goes on hardware and middleware, Kickstarter take a fee, and then 35% goes on taxes. Which is, I mean, obviously I have no issue with people paying their taxes, but it's amazing that the actual fundraising target, if it didn't have that chunk, would be so much lower. It's really interesting. You don't normally see that breakdown.
No. It's good to have that transparency, isn't it? So we actually know where the money would be going. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think, and also the idea that the lady making this is going to only spend 4 times the amount on development as on sort of hardware. So if hardware is things like, I guess, dev kits and things like that, development can't be that expensive, or dev kits are very expensive. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for the price of anyway. But the third thing I wanted to say is, if this game doesn't get funded, it's that typical kind of, and makes me sound like a dick, but So there are some Vita owners, right, that buy all the games and are so good with the Vita community and making sure things get sequels, making sure things get bought, making sure things get made. There are other Vita owners and Vita kind of discussion members on forums that like to whinge and complain about, Sony not bringing titles to it, about great games not being made on Vita, or you know the types.
Yeah.
If this game doesn't get funded, it's because Vita owners haven't coughed up the cash.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's not because of Sony. It's not because of marketplaces. It's literally because Vita owners could have this game, but not enough of them wanted it. And it will be really interesting to see the reaction if it doesn't get funded.
No.
Because,
yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Because when I had my Vita, I really loved it, and it does have some really good games on it. But the audience and the owners there is a portion of them that very much kind of expect things to come to a console without buying games for it, or without talking about how good things are on it. And maybe that's because people don't invest in things like this. So it'll be really interesting to see if it does get funded.
Yeah, definitely. I think as you're absolutely, once again, you're just nailing so many hammers and nails today. You're getting everything spot on, in the sense, like, I would love to see what the Reddit forum will say if this doesn't fund about it, because you're right, people are going on so much about it not being helped, Sony not giving any funding, not bringing any games to it. But really, for Sony to stand up and listen to what the community is saying, they need to see that people are willing to put their money into these projects. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is kind of really interesting for us, because this game is just a Vita game, and we don't see the sales kind of money and figures on titles made by people not on Kickstarter. So if something doesn't get a Vita sequel, we don't know the money and the finance behind that decision. But with this game, it will be so clear. If it doesn't get made, it's because people didn't want it enough, or people weren't willing to put in enough money. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we wait and see whether it does fund. As I said, we've got 20 days, and I'm going to keep talking about this every week just to make sure people are funding.
Have you put some money in, Colin?
Not yet, Chris. I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I did forget. We spoke about it last week, and I was definitely gonna do it, but then I actually forgot. I think that's the problem with Vita owners. Maybe we're just very forgetful. But I will. Don't you worry. I will. So yeah, that's good. And final thing again before we get into the news. This is probably the most important news story, to be honest with you. Screw Vine. Screw everything else. Screw Pokemon Go, because this is the most important thing, Chris. Coming soon, we're going to have iOS 10.2.
Oh boy.
This is rumored to drop before the end of the year. Now, I don't care about what features are going to be in this. The thing that I care about, and I think I can say this for all iOS owners, all iPhone owners, that what we care about and what we want is more emojis, Chris. We just want more of them. There's not enough.
There's not enough.
Are you? Can I just ask you a question? When you're texting someone, do you? I don't think in the text you send me, you don't really send me many emojis. But are you an emoji user? Do you like to look at?
I'm going on my recent emojis now. I use the faces more than anything. I occasionally use the thumbs up. It's mainly faces. There's so many bloody emojis that I just don't go anywhere near. The fucking monkey ones covering their eyes, ears, and mouth.
I hate those ones. I hate those ones.
I never use those.
I'm quite a lazy emoji user, in the sense, like, if there's an emoji that I know is going to be perfect for what I'm saying, I'm really lazy. I can't be bothered to scroll through and find it. Like, I'll just end up just like selecting random ones that make no sense for some reason. Like, I put a picture of a dolphin for no reason, or a picture of a chicken just for no reason, because I can't be bothered to find the right one. But nice. I like it, Chris. But anyway, so 10.2 is coming out soon, and there's going to be more emojis, and we've got a list here of what's going to be included. Now, there's a few ones that are like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, we don't really care. We're going to have an emoji of someone with their hand over their face, so a face palm. We're getting a face palm one, Chris. We're getting an emoji of a guy shrugging. So the shrug emoji. So, like, if you don't know something, you just send that emoji. God, you don't know. I don't know. We're also going to get a duck one. A drum.
I would have assumed there was a duck.
Apparently not. I would have thought there was as well, actually. Well, whilst I am talking about this, why don't you have a look and see if you can find a duck one? See if there's already one on there. There's also going to be an avocado one because everyone's been crying out for that one. But
Oh yeah, there isn't a duck. You got chicken, penguin, pigeon. Oh no, hang on. There isn't. Oh no, that's a chick.
why wouldn't they? I don't understand why they'd have a pigeon one, but not a duck one. Because ducks are
know.
much better than pigeons, in my opinion. But the most exciting part about this is
Go on.
Harambe is coming.
Go on.
Harambe is coming to emojis.
No, Harambe.
They're getting in on the Harambe hype, and there's going to be a gorilla emoji. And as the internet does, they've already christened it the Harambe emoji. So I can't wait to see that. It looks really nice.
Do you want to hear a?
Really nice. Yeah.
Do you want to hear a good joke?
I would love to hear a good joke.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, my flatmate told me this. Harambe is a bar, and there's a man sat next to him having a drink, and Harambe is about to order, and the man sat next to him is like, "Oh no, I'll have can I have whiskey on the rocks, please?" And then the man's like, "Actually, could you take the whiskey out? It's just ice for Harambe."
I didn't get it. Though it didn't. It didn't help that you cut out halfway through the joke.
Oh, that's what I'll blame.
Can you say it again, please?
A man goes into a bar.
Yeah.
It sits down next to Harambe the gorilla.
Yeah.
The man says, "Oh, Harambe, I'll buy you a drink. What are you having?" And Harambe says, "Oh, I'll have whiskey on the rocks, please." And the man turns to the barman and says, "Oh, actually, can you get him that, but without any whiskey, because it's just ice for Harambe."
Oh, I get it. I get it. That's good. Very good. I'm glad you're in on the dank meme hype. It really does make me happy. Chris has now disappeared from his webcam. I'm assuming because he's fallen off his chair how funny the joke was. Oh, there he is. There he is. It really does amaze me how your webcam is positioned in somewhere different every single week. It really is quite something. You need to get some sort of stand, that'd be good. Very helpful. Oh, but just so you're aware as well, there's going to be 72 new emojis in total, but apparently they've already been released on, they've already been released on Microsoft, Google, and Twitter. So Apple's actually going to be getting these emojis last. So there you go. So you can actually already get these ones on Twitter. How can you get emojis on Twitter? Can you do that? Isn't it? Surely it's just linked to your keyboard on your phone, isn't it? You can have a look at this. I'm going to have a look. So I'm composing a tweet. Now, how do I... Chris? I think Chris is gone. So we're going to keep talking anyway. You hear my dulcet tunes. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Anyway, so new emojis coming to Apple very, very soon. Right, so I think Chris has gone. Yep, he's gone. And he's back again. Here he is. Here he is. There he is. Is he here?
All right.
There he is. Right, I'm going to go straight into the news because, Chris's internet is now struggling because of all the torrents he's getting. All the torrents of Rogue Raiders Online that he's downloading right now. Anyway, so let's start with some Sony and PlayStation Vita news. So quite a while ago, I spoke about a game called The Deer God, and I spoke about this back on a little podcast called IndieCast, which I used to run.
No.
Yeah.
IndieCast?
Do you remember that? Do you remember IndieCast?
A year and a half ago.
Let me see when the date this one was. So I found the episode. It was episode 17. That must have been towards the end of them, to be honest with you. Oh, it doesn't say what date this was uploaded. It was a couple of years ago. I spoke about a game called The Deer God, which looked really cool. It's a game about survival, reincarnation, and karma, and it's all set in breathtaking and unique 3D pixelized world. It looks absolutely stunning. And the game is said to challenge your religion and your platforming skills, and you basically play as a deer. But I believe there's some spiritual elements to it. So The skyline looks amazing. Like there's a day and night system in it as well. There's mesmerizing water reflections, but there's obviously an undercurrent of spirituality and things like that as well. Anyway, so I spoke about this a couple of years ago, and there was a Kickstarter for this game from John Pressison, I think, and there was a stretch goal. If they reach the target of $65,000, then it would be coming to PlayStation Vita. Now, unfortunately, it didn't actually meet that target. It only reached 51,000. So we thought, oh, this isn't coming to PlayStation Vita. This is really sad because this game looks like it would really look good on the platform. But some news has emerged this week out of nowhere, really, saying that the Dear God is actually going to be coming to Vita and PlayStation 4 in the first part of 2017. So this is a press release that is found on gamasutra.com. And the company who are bringing it out on Vita is Blowfish Studios in collaboration with Crescent Moon Games. And they're going to simultaneously bring the Dear God out on Vita and PlayStation 4. So far, over 1.5 million people have played it on Xbox One, PC, and mobile devices. So it is already out. But yeah, it's going to be coming out to Vita as well. And this has taken people a bit by surprise because, as I said, like there was this Kickstarter 2 years ago, and then because it didn't reach a stretch goal, people thought, "Oh, that's it. It's not coming to Vita." But out of nowhere, this press release has come out, and it's going to be coming out to everyone's favorite handheld next year, which I'm really happy about because this game looks really, really cool. The art style, once again, looks incredible. Which, I mean, to be honest, most games that come out on Vita, the art style looks great, in my opinion. But this one really does look like something, and I really actually can't wait for this. I hope it does stick to that time frame of early next year, because I know games do get pushed back quite a lot when there's a Vita release date, but we wait and see. I mean, I've not read any reviews for it on the Xbox One and PC versions of the game, but I'll definitely be checking this out when it comes to Vita next year. Chris, are you excited about the Dear God coming to PlayStation Vita?
Well, I'm just watching the trailer because I kind of loosely remember you talking about this at the time.
Yeah.
It does look really pretty. The art style is very nice. I don't really understand. Well, you know, I'm sure it'll be great. I'd like to play this on PS4. But I imagine it'll be really good on Vita too. It does look very Vita-y. But you play as a deer. Isn't that mad? You're a deer.
Yeah, I think the clue's in the name, Chris. It's called the Dear God. Anyway.
Also, Colin, I'm just watching the trailer on our YouTube. We share a joint YouTube page, and all of the bits on the side is bloody recommendations for Ed to Shikari videos.
That's great.
I know what you've been doing with the account.
Oh God, good thing it's not.
I know the history.
Oh God. Well, the problem is I've got so many YouTube accounts because I'm such a big YouTuber. I just struggle to know which one I'm signed in as.
It's really hard when you're a YouTube star,
YouTube sensation.
And I told YouTube, pay me $25 billion, and I'll give them 18 seconds a week.
Brilliant. Nice. So, well, that's one positive thing that we can take from this episode, is that you can listen to Enter Shikari, which is all very, very, very good. Anyway, so
that's that bit in Enter Shikari.
Pat. Anyway, so do you want to give me some?
You're not a winner. I don't think you realise how much I hate Enter Shikari.
You don't hate them. You're just saying that to annoy me.
Like, I've literally, there aren't any bands, I think, that I actively dislike as much as Enter Shikari.
Why?
It's just so dreadful, Colin, and every song is identical.
Oh my God.
And it's always just like complaining about, you know, everyone's against you, but don't worry because you've got Enter Shikari on your team. Now we're just gonna like slam our hands on the keyboard a bit and the guitar and jump around. Everyone thinks we're really cool and big. I fucking loathe them. I absolutely detest them. Like, if I was in a room with Enter Shikari and a gun and Hitler, I can't remember how this joke ends, but anyway, I just hate them. I really, really hate them.
Well,
and it's just grim. Like, it's just fucking boring as well. It's not even like there's good music in that genre. It's not being made by them, and they think they're great, and they're not.
Well, you're clearly not part of the Shikari family.
What do
So
Shikari fans call themselves?
we are the Shikari family.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, the Shikari family.
And this is not as bad as it could be, to be fair.
The Shikaras. The Shakiras.
Woo! Now Shakira is a musician that I much more highly rate. But anyway, do you want some 3DS news?
Now you've done shitting on my life and my love. Yes, you can. You give me some Nintendo news.
So there was a big Animal Crossing Nintendo Direct today. It happened about 2:00. It was one of those things where I got an email to say, oh, join us for the Nintendo Direct. I was like, oh yeah, I should tune in for that. And then I went on the website. It was over. It was only about a quarter of an hour long. But anyway, there's loads of new stuff coming. And actually, the update patch, I'm told, is out now. I haven't turned on my 3DS yet to get it, but it is out now. There's loads and loads of stuff in this. But the lovely people at Nintendo.co.uk have done a list of 9 things that you should check out. So now you can tap an Amiibos on your 3DS or on your Amiibo reader, and it will grant you new animals over dressed up as characters, which is quite exciting. You can also tap cards, and if you invite animals over, they'll stay in the campground for a bit. In the campground, you can go and chat to new animals that you might have a card for that you don't have in your village yet. You can trade items with them. Some might even move into your town. In the campground, you don't use money because it's like a hippie commune. Instead, you use meow coupons, which can be traded for bells or exchanged for items as well. I don't quite understand how they work, but anyway, you can also now rearrange your house using the touchscreen rather than having to click on things with the D-pad, which is a lot easier. And if you link to Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, you can move furniture to the catalog, which is good. There is also a new secret storeroom. You can also buy a Wii U item, which will let you play a certain game, like a mini game in the game, as well as a new Nintendo 3DS XL item, which will give you access to puzzle games. So that's nice. They're adding their characters by tapping Splatoon and Legend of Zelda amiibos. You'll get little characters popping around as well. You can take photos of your animal friends using amiibo figures and amiibo cards. And if you want to return to your old town, or you can start somewhere new if you'd like, Tom Nook will give you a huge amount of bells. So if you've suddenly got this new update and you're like, oh, but my old town was a bit shaky, you've got somewhere completely new, they've added, there's loads of stuff. And the new character, who's like this kind of hippie dog thing, is very, very cute. I think he's very sweet. I think he's going to be a fan favorite. Colin, he's he's adorable. He's just like this big hippie dog thing. He's really cute.
Hippie dogs are my favorite kind of dogs. Is there a picture of this thing?
Yeah, if you click on the link in the article, we'll put a picture of him on the article for heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com as well. Really, really cute little man. We're very keen on him. And the update's out now. The hippie dog's called Harvey, obviously. They did this trailer and Harvey's being played by a person. It's so bizarre, but it's lovely. Animal Crossing is very cute, isn't it? So I'd love to know if this kind of tempts people back into the Animal Crossing world. I'd love to know what they come back to and how they find it.
Yeah, so I mean, is this going to tempt you back into playing it?
I will. Yeah, I think it probably will, actually. I don't think I'll ever be as addicted as I was when it came out, because when that game came out, I mean, you remember, yes. I was on it, every day. I don't think I'll be that hooked, but I think it will definitely coax me back a little.
That's good. Good. Yeah, it's a shame that you don't play anymore. I mean, how long's it been since that came out? It must be a couple
it has been years and years. It came out during our last year at university.
That's insane. That's like 20 years ago.
It's at least 3 years ago, 3.5. Because I bought it the week it came out. It was summer 2013. So nice. That's the Animal Crossing update. You can watch the full Nintendo Direct as well. We'll embed a link to that so you can check it out if you're curious. Colin.
Yeah.
Can I bat the ball back to you?
Please do. Now, big news this week. Now, you know about the Zero Escape genre of games. Well, not genre. The what's it
called?
Series. Yeah, that's a better word, isn't it? The Zero Escape series. So we spoke about this in length actually a couple of months ago when a Zero Time Dilemma came out on PlayStation Vita, which was the based around the strangers that were locked in this underground bunker. It was sort of like Saw in a way, where only 5 people could survive. And you had to only 3 people could leave this bunker. So you had to decide which 6 people were going to die throughout this game, and your decisions changed outcomes. There's multiple endings and things like that. Well, very exciting news. A bundle is going to be released on PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 in spring 2017. And what this is going to include is all the original Zero Escape games, which I believe were originally released for Nintendo DS. So quite a few years ago now. So this package is going to include Zero Escape 9 Hours, 9 Persons 9 Doors, and Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. So this is going to be called Zero Escape: The Nonary Games, and you'll be able to purchase all those games together in spring 2017. As I said, this is for Vita and PlayStation 4. I believe they all follow the same genre, so it's I don't think it's a graphic novel. Not graphic novel. I don't think it's a visual novel.
Graphic adventure, a visual novel adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, adventure game, isn't it? I think it's all about the idea of escaping somewhere, which I think the clue is in the name there. But I wasn't sure whether you'd ever played these the original games, Chris. Obviously,
we played the demo for it. Do you not remember? Ages ago, we both played the same demo, but me on 3DS and you on Vita. And it was for, I think, was it called Zero Time Dilemma? And there was that rabbit, and it was like, "You're running out of time." Was that not this?
No, I think that was something else. Yeah, I remember what you're.
Sorry.
That's awkward. So this is being brought to Vita and PS4 courtesy of Arxis. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Arxis Games and Spike Chunsoft. So this is very exciting. This is coming exclusively to the Sony platform. So if you're a PS4, PlayStation Vita owner, you can get them all, and it's going to be very, very fun. Very, very fun. Mega fun. So if you're a fan of the Zero Escape games, then get on this hype. But not that long to wait now. It's not long till 2017. And obviously spring is not that far away either. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So that's very exciting. I'll talk about another bit of news now. I'm going to go straight on to another one. So this is a small one. So as you know, the PlayStation Vita has had a few updates over the years, hasn't it? But do you know the one thing it's lacking, Chris?
Stability.
It needs to be more stable. God damn it. So that's what we're going to get from this new update. It's update 3.63, and it's now available for PlayStation Vita owners. And it's the same update for PlayStation TV as well. And the official line for what this update includes is, this system software update improves the quality of the system performance. Oh, isn't that nice? But you do need a minimum of 200 megabytes of free space if you're downloading this on the PS3. So just keep that in mind. And a bit more news about this update here. The 4.81 is the first PS3 update since April. 3.63 is the first PlayStation Vita update since August, which was once again stability issues. And it's also stopping that what's it called? Where people found a way of being able to play games on Vita that they weren't allowed to.
Something hacking, isn't it?
I've forgotten the name of it. Breaking the system so they can play games that they shouldn't be, basically.
Yeah, what's that called? System.
I can't remember the name for it. It's like PlayStation Vita hacking.
Cracking it.
No, it's not. No. Is it homebrew? Is that it? Hacking?
Yes, that is what. Yeah, homebrew is the word.
Yeah, so you can do that for Vita, and the update in August was to stop that from happening. But this new one is just making the system work a bit smoother, apparently. So if your Vita's on your bedside table or on your dining table and it shakes, but then once you download this update, if you notice that it stops shaking, then you know the update has done its job. And we're all very happy about this. That's good. Anyway, Chris, what's going on?
Well, very briefly, a website called Sensor Tower, which is about data that drives app growth, which is very much a website that wouldn't exist 10 years ago. But anyway, are reporting that the Pokemon Go saw an increase of revenue of 133% during the first 5 days of the Halloween event. Well, actually, the first 4 days and 1 day that wasn't. So in between October the 18th and 22nd, it's made apparently $10 million. And then between October 25th and 29th, the same time period, but including the Halloween thing, it made upwards of $23 million. To be honest, I'm surprised. I don't know who this website is. And I kind of feel like they could be anyone, but it looks like it could be fairly legit. And it wouldn't surprise me if it had made a lot more money because everyone was playing it over Halloween. Like, it was so popular. Everyone was loving it. So it'll be very interesting to see if Pokemon Company come out or Niantic come out with a similar kind of estimate. But just worth knowing, and we did touch on that earlier as well. I also want to talk about a game called Ice Station Z, which comes to 3DS tomorrow. Now, this is actually a really interesting game for me. It's £4. Well, it's $4. I guess it'll be £3 actually. It comes out tomorrow, and it's an open world zombie survival horror game with this kind of very strange, like polygon, low quality art style, but it kind of adds to the menace. It looks quite interesting, but what is really cool about it is that it's got 8-player online, and you can use voice and text chat as well. So you'll be able to speak to people online. It looks very moody. It's set kind of in a snow world, as you might guess from Ice Station Z. The graphics really
poor.
Don't look like they're going to be many people's thing, but I think it'll be fun to mess around with. So yeah, I'm quite interested in this. I will definitely give it a go, and it's got a low price point as well. Maybe it'll get a bit of a cult following. So I just want to talk about that. And the people who have made it, great name for a company. They're called Wobbly Tooth Games. Great name.
That's a fantastic
really
name.
Good.
I love the helicopter. I'm watching the trailer here. The really great helicopter going across.
Yeah, it's
mowing down zombies. Great.
Yeah, quality wise, yet to be seen. Maybe hopefully I'll get a chance to talk about it next week if I can play it in time. But yeah, we'll see how it gets on.
Good. Well, this seems like sort of a unique thing for 3DS. You don't normally get games like this, do you? Really?
You don't. You're very right there, Colin. You don't get that sort of thing for 3DS. So let's see how it does. Very briefly as well, I wanted to talk about Monster Hunter Generations, which Capcom have reported has now sold upwards of 4.1 million copies. Solid sales overseas, they're saying. This is in their 6-month fiscal report, which ended on September the 30th. They've actually lost a bit of money, but this game did really well. I was at Comic-Con on the weekend and had a chance to play it, which I hadn't actually. This is the first Monster Hunter in a while that I didn't get off the bat, and it did play really well, actually. I was very into it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it yet. I might wait till Christmas, but it seemed to be really good fun. And it will be very interesting to see what Capcom and Monster Hunter do with the Switch when that eventually comes out, because that's got some really exciting possibilities, I think. But yeah, 4.1 million copies, which is huge. So well done, Capcom, for such a successful game in Monster Hunter Generations. Colin, what's going on with you?
You haven't really spoken much about Comic-Con. How was it?
I enjoyed it. I tell you what, I did get to play with is Google's new VR, which what's it called? The old one was called Cardboard. The new Google VR is called Daydream, and I played on it using a Pixel. And the new this thing they're bringing out, which is a kind of VR experience to support the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, I was really impressed with it, actually. I don't think it's as good as PlayStation VR. I don't think it's quite as kind of immersive. But the advantage is, because it's on a phone, there's not really any wires, which I really, really liked. Because one of the things that annoyed me about PSVR was it felt a bit wiry to me. So I was really impressed with it, actually. And the idea that anyone who gets his phone will be able to mess around on Daydream is a very interesting one. The actual demo was okay. It had a really good sense of atmosphere. The graphics weren't great, and I think that's partly because it's on a phone as well. But it'll be really interesting to see how Daydream does, and I would not be surprised if Apple weren't far behind working on a VR thing of their own. Because these two companies very much kind of imitate and better each other, don't they? That's kind of the play here. So yeah, it's good. I also played a game called Little Nightmares, which comes to PS4 next year, which wouldn't surprise me if it had a Vita crossplay version or something like that, which I don't know anything about that, but it just had that kind of vibe. But I really enjoyed that. It was a really spooky game, so I liked that a lot. and sat in on a panel with Nolan North of Uncharted fame and the Arkham games, and basically everything. And he was really very sweet. He was very nice man. He had a lot of interesting things to say about working as a voice actor and the kind of stresses of it, and the idea of how he kind of generates voices for different characters. He answered some really good questions. It was very, very sweet hearing him talk about Uncharted and how he sees that as kind of the big role of his career, and the idea that when they eventually make a film of that, someone else will get to be Nathan Drake, but he will always see that as his big break and his kind of Han Solo moment. And I think he was quite sad to be saying goodbye to it in the in Uncharted 4. So yeah, it was very interesting, nice mix of people. Didn't dress up this year, but yeah, it was a good time. It was had by all.
Great, I'm glad you had a good time. I mean, just going back to what you said about the Google VR, this does interest me quite a bit. I mean, more specifically, the phone. I know that came out. It's out now. A lot of people are being put off by the price point of it, but I'm seeing good reviews for the phone itself. I don't know. Did you get a chance to actually have a go on the phone?
No. It was literally you sit down and they put the goggle on you, so there was no time to use the phone at all. Really,
I've heard the VR for Google is actually quite light as well compared to PlayStation VR. The material is more comfier.
It's a lighter headset, but you kind of, I've only played on for 5-10 minutes with each one, but I felt like the quality of the graphic was just better on the PlayStation 1. But maybe it was, perhaps it was an early build, or perhaps it was it's very hard to make that cool when you get 5 minutes with something. But I think it was really it's still amazing me. VR technology is just so cool, and we're so much in the infancy that by the time it's fully fledged and accepted thing, it is going to be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad you had fun there. It sounds like it was very interesting. Did you get a chance to have a go on any Vita games?
Nope.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to move on to my last news story then. And this is a bit of an one. This emerged, the video was actually uploaded last week, but there's very limited information on this. So there seems to be a trend at the moment for people passionate about the PlayStation Vita developing games themselves and looking for the fans, so the PlayStation Vita army, to help fund it. Now, this one is called Project Classic, and this emerged on YouTube, where a chap called Nicholas Marcelin uploaded a 6-minute demo video of this game. It's basically an open world exploration game, classic 3D platformer as well. I don't really know what else to say about it, really. At the moment, this is a very early build. It's been they've been working on this for about a month, and they're hoping to have this out early 2018. Next year. So looking at the video for it, there's a blue character running around an island, talking to various characters who look like Lego people. At one point he's running underwater, he's like climbing over rocks, and it looks really interesting. But as I said, there's very little to go on at the moment, apart from it being an open world game and that they're trying to develop it for the PlayStation Vita. There's no Kickstarter. There seems to be a Patreon page for it, for the person who uploaded the video, who apparently is the person working on this. Now, he hasn't really made it very clear as to whether this Patreon page is actually for the game or whether it's just him making YouTube videos, because in the description for the video it says that click here to go to our Patreon page and then you can help bring this game to life. But then you click on the link and it goes through to this guy, Nicholas Marcelin, his Patreon, and it's saying this Patreon's there to help him create YouTube videos. It doesn't say anything about creating this game, so that's probably no one actually signed up and donated any money yet. as I said, it's all a bit odd at the moment. There's not much information to go by. So just this video and that's it. But people are very excited at the moment anyway. A lot of people in the comments on Reddit and on the YouTube video are excited to see what happens with this project. But yeah, it looks really interesting. So another exploration game, open world title as well. So it seems that the PlayStation Vita family are really taking matters into their own hands and looking to try and bring their own gaming concepts to life. As I said, not much to go on at the moment. We wait and see whether there's going to be any form of Kickstarter for this. But at the moment, we're just awaiting further details. But I mean, the video is interesting. It's obviously very basic at the moment. There's obviously, it's just a very early build of the game, and the character looks like someone out of the Blue Man Group. So that's interesting as well. And it's really cool looking at these characters and how they're very similar to Lego people. I thought that was quite funny as well. But yeah, we wait and see whether there'll be any updates on this in the near future. And hopefully they can set up some sort of Kickstarter again to help once again highlight whether the Vita community want these sorts of games to come to the platform. But I'm all for more open world games coming in. I do like open world exploration games. I think they are the best, and that is severely lacking on the PlayStation Vita, in my opinion. Right, that's all the news for this week. That's it.
No, it's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
On this week from you, I've got quite a big one to report, which has come from Nintendo Everything, who have translated an article from the Japanese Bloomberg site, which is basically in an interview with one of the Nintendo presidents, Tatsumi Kimishima. He mentioned during a press conference this week that the Switch and the 3DS are entirely different, and that Nintendo will continue to develop software for the Nintendo 3DS. So this is quite exciting. A lot of people have seen this Switch announcement and kind of are feeling a bit, well, RIP 3DS, but actually perhaps not the case. So I just thought that was worth mentioning. I, for one, really hope that we don't see the end of the 3DS anytime soon, because this podcast loses 50% of its content. So yeah, it's interesting.
But people really worried about that. The 3DS is such a big moneymaker for Nintendo. Why would they stop making games for it?
Yeah, but I can see why they're worried, because if you can take your Switch on the go, then maybe it's easier to make things for one platform. You know, I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen kind of, yeah, don't worry, guys, we're still gonna make this. Don't worry. Then it never really happens. Sony kind of famously have quietly dropped the Vita. But we'll see what happens with once the Switch comes out, how it affects the 3DS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Switch. Switch, turn it over here. Dun, dun. Love it. I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for the Switch.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be the bee's knees. Right, Chris, do you have anything else you want to tell me?
That's it from me, Colin.
Well, then, before we leave, we should probably do this week's 99 apps, 99 problems, but an app ain't one.
Yes, we were both playing the same game, weren't we? Because we were both playing.
Yes.
Color. Is it Color Switch from Fortify Games,
Color
Habitat
Switch.
Games, and iBox Games? So, what did you think of Color Switch?
It's one of those intriguing little puzzle games where you have one go and you think, it's one of those games, isn't it, where you pick up and play, but then you get a bit addicted to it because you want to keep beating your score. Because when you go on a good run and you get really high up, you think, and you die, and then you start again. You think, oh fuck, so I'm gonna beat my score. I'm gonna go again. So it's one of those. It's definitely one of those just one more go style of games. But I think it's really good. It's a very clever idea. It looks really nice as well. Very colourful. It's a clever idea, clever concept. But yeah, I've got bored of it already. So
Really,
it was good for about a week. Well, less than a week, probably about 3 or 4 days. But then I just moved on to the next thing, unfortunately.
it really reminds me of Flappy Bird. The kind of the movement is very Flappy Birdy, I think. Yeah, I kind of much the same actually. I quite liked it. It's not going to replace my Solitaire app, which I use every day, but it's okay. I like that the levels seem a bit different every time. I don't know if that's the case or if you start to see repetition if you play a lot, but that's quite nice.
I think it's procedurally generated. Yeah. I think I've noticed that as well. Yeah.
But I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think as good as these sort of minimalist puzzle games can be. I'm probably not going to spend any money on it. I'm going to want to install it in the next few weeks, but it's all right if you need just something quick on the go, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's fun to waste a few minutes with if you're just waiting for something or you want to waste a bit of time. But yeah, it's not really got the longevity, has it? It's not really going to last that long on people's phones on average, I would say. But
Definitely.
a game that I want, now I've already downloaded this game and been playing it, but I want you to download it as well. It's
All right.
called Pinout. And it's from a developer called Mediocre, and I think they are the team that were behind Breakout. I think it was called Breakout. Uh, Basically that was I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. It was a 3D game where the camera's moving forward and there's loads of barriers in front of you, and you have to tap the screen and it threw metal balls at these barriers, and you had to smash them to get through. So you had to smash glasses, pillars.
Mediocre. This looks like a pinball game, Colin.
It is, and it's a really, really great game. I'm addicted to this. It's a lot of fun. It looks absolutely stunning as well. I love the art style. It's very Tron-y, in my opinion. And it makes me think of the Vita game Futuridium EP Deluxe, which I played a couple of years ago. That sort of it makes me think of a disco, like a 90s disco, all the lights and the neon lights and the effects and silhouettes and things like that. But it really is a lot of fun. It's free to play. You can pay to download the premium edition for £1.49, but all that does is give you the ability to, because once again, it's an endless game where you just have to go as far up the board as possible, going through these different pinball machines. And obviously, if you die, you start from the beginning. But if you pay £1.49, you have the ability to start from checkpoints, so you don't have to start right at the beginning. But you don't need to spend any money. There's no ads as far as I can see in the game. It's just a lovely game to look at. It's really well made, and a very, very good developer as well for mobile gaming, because I've liked their games in the past. But I'll be interested to see what Chris thinks of this. I've only played it for
I'll give it a try. I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I really think you'll dig it. But I think I love how it runs. It runs really smoothly. It just looks nice, and it's perfect for mobile, in my opinion. This is what mobile gaming is all about, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's really cool, and it's called Pinout, and it's I think it was the featured app on the iOS store this week. So you've probably already heard about it or seen it in the store if you've been looking around for a game to download. But I definitely recommend giving it a go, and we'll give it a full heads up, full review next week once Chris had a chance to play it as well.
Nice.
Cool. Right. So I think we're done. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think we might be too.
Chris, are you?
Yeah, I think so. What are you going to be playing for the next week?
I haven't actually said, but today I had the day off work and I didn't have anything of note to do. So for the first time in pretty months, I just spent the whole day playing video games.
Oh, the dream.
Actually, the dream, because it was so cold and I didn't want to turn the heating on. I had like I have my dressing gown on. I had my fluffy bed socks on. It's on my sofa. And I just played games all day. I played FIFA. I played Gears of War. And that was pretty much it. I played Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Nice.
I still haven't got the courage to go back to Arkham Knight. You know, I'm just really worried about the Batmobile missions. You know, I just don't know what to do. I need to get back in and finish that game. But yeah, the Batmobile was not good. But I'm not that far into it, actually. I'm only about 45 minutes into it, so I'm not even
I thought you were really far in. Yeah, you've barely touched it.
I know, but it's pretty much the first mission where you have to use the Batmobile, and I'm going across this like rooftop, and I'm just thinking, why am I using the Batmobile to go across a rooftop? It makes no sense, and I keep falling off. It's bloody annoying, but I will get back to it at some point. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. What have you been playing, or what will you be playing this week?
I have been playing. I played quite a lot of Rocket League over the weekend because I had a friend down and we played Rocket League a lot together. I've been playing Assassin's Creed not Revelations. What is it? Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is the London one. So I've been playing that. I'm pretty close to finishing it, I think. And I've also, because it was spooky.